that person doesn't forget? What do you want to tell that person now, if you can?
Give everyone a call. No matter how recent it was since you talked to them last. Find their number and randomly call them.
All right, let's.
Is it recording?
It's recording.
Is this recording?
Yes, it's recording.
Roger.
Okay.
Jar Jar Binks, man.
All right, let's do a couple warm-up questions
Jar Jar
because
Binks.
clearly everyone's not in the right mood yet.
Well, Max, you want us to just only be crying?
No, but I just want you to take it seriously. I just want you to take it seriously.
Fair.
Okay. Did senior year go the way you planned?
Hell no. Well, I got a job, but damn did academics not go well. Whew.
Yeah, it went well.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid.
It went solid for me.
Went like pretty well, I think.
Yeah, actually drinking was fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
People up halfway through.
And do you have any regrets from senior year?
I think Aaron's got a lot.
I have
Everything is a dub.
metrics related regrets.
Yeah, dude.
Probably should have tried harder in that class, but finesse most other things.
Isaac should have passed failed metrics and not used it.
My biggest regret right there, honestly.
Nah, I think everything.
I got none.
I honestly don't think I will look back and be like, man, until it bites me in the ass, I don't think I'll look back. Until I'm glad I'm getting this out of the way. Until it bites me in the ass, I don't think I'll regret how unacademically focused I was these past 2 semesters. I was really focusing. Well, first of all, I was not there for a semester because of someone over there, but.
Cancelled.
Wow, I actually can't elaborate at all right now. I feel dumb as bricks. I'm glad we're doing these warm-up questions.
That's why we do them.
Hungover.
You're still here for a semester.
I'm not even hungover. No, I wasn't here. It's first semester.
Mentally.
Mentally, I was
wasn't in that space.
Yeah.
Mentally, he was checked out.
Anyone want a sip of coffee? I feel like it could benefit right there.
Okay.
Yes.
Is
this gonna get put on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
That changes the answer to your question.
Oh yeah. It doesn't change it for me.
Alright. I don't think we need more of a question. We're living senior year, so I feel like
We're living it, baby.
Living it.
We are raw dogging.
last week, baby.
We're raw dogging it.
Either Lasada scooch to the right or Ryan scooch to the left. There's just a huge gap in between you, and there's no gap in between Max.
Scoot over, baby.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, you move a little bit.
There. Better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Is it center? Because it looks like the camera's starting right here.
No, it's center. It's actually not. Here, actually, Lasada go back to where you were, and Ryan go back.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, much better. Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to be near me?
Lasada is dead center in the camera.
Beautiful.
But now we're not centered on the couch.
That's fine.
I mean, you can move the couch over if you want.
No. Let's just go.
All right, cool. All right, gents. What was it like moving into mods?
So moving into mods was very different because there's such a big contrast between what we were used to the year before, which was Ridge. So Ridge was this really nice place for fancy. Mods was felt like you're taking a step down in terms of the living quality. However, mods just turned out to be a more homey environment, and because of the common room and just the size, and mods being a senior quad ended up being a lot more just engaging with everyone here. So
I think I was personally very happy just because we have a massive space, 3-story high ceilings basically, 2.5. But just such a huge place, and there's so much you could do, and we could decorate it in ways that we weren't able to decorate our past places. And
Moving into mods, I from the moment senior year started, I had a thought of how I wanted my senior to go, and I was very cognizant of
this was my last year in college. A lot of things were going to change after this year, so I wanted to keep reminding myself to like be aware of the moment and like know like this is like a lot of my best friends in my life like are this is like the time to be like with them, and so that for me that also meant like I wanted to have fun and do things I wanted to do and don't like think too much about like social stuff or anything like that, and like I don't know. So for moving into mods, for me honestly, like it was like the only year where I came in and I was like, these are like, I need to enjoy this moment, I need to enjoy this year. Every moment I spend with these people is like, I won't be able to do this next year, and like maybe even for like the rest of my life. And so like be aware of that, yeah.
So for me, I'm in a very different boat than everyone in this mod because I'm gonna be here one more year. So I did feel the same need of wanting to spend the same amount of time with the people here, but it was very hard for me because there was like times where like everyone in the mod was like, you know, letting their guard down in terms of like, you know, academic and studying and stuff like that because they already found jobs, like they were already in a good place, you know, moving out of Brandeis, but I still have like a whole grad year, which is arguably going to be more difficult. So for me, it was like this really hard balancing act of making sure I keep up the same level of academics, or actually I'm trying to improve them, and also manage to keep up with the things that we're doing here in Moz, which is, you know, ramping up as we value the time that we had with each other significantly more. And I think looking back at the end, I think I'm very happy with how I was able to do that, and I think I spent some very good quality time with everyone here in the mods.
Honestly, I'm trying to think back to it right now, and I don't really remember what it was like going to classes, because I did go to classes last semester, and I can't actually like even remember what classes I took, honestly. But I think it was the first semester back where I was going to have like in-person classes, and so I was pretty excited, and it's like this is probably like one of my last semesters, and because at that time I was actually thinking about graduating early, and so I was just like really trying to choose really good classes and just, you know, have a good time, because it was the last time I'd be able to do that. And at the same time, like, we were living in this space, and I just wanted to try to make the most of it and just do as many things as I could, like go out to cool places to eat and like have fun activities, like meet fun people. And it's something that I really think ended up happening.
Yeah, I agree.
Except I really just have no idea what classes I took last semester.
No, I think it was great because we all came with like the similar mindset of like, you know, not taking this year for granted, and that spurred like some really good time among all of us in various different ways.
Yeah, and also I think it was like spurred on because junior year we did very little.
Yeah,
and we were all vaccinated, got boosted before I came to campus, so I felt like much safer also. Although I did end up getting COVID for my birthday. But besides, like, I just felt, it was just like a combination of all of that. And like, come on, you're like 20, you're 21, you're 22. Like, let's you know, have fun.
Yeah, I was excited. Like, Adam and Aaron were here earlier than everyone else, I think, and I forget where it was basically, but like, everyone helped each other move in, and it was like, no one really, like, everyone was sort of like very chill about it. No one, like, there wasn't any hassle or anything. Everyone moved in pretty quickly, and then afterward we just instantly started like just hanging out, playing Smash. Like, it was like it started off pretty well, I think, pretty early on.
Yeah, moving was always pretty fun for me because I get to put my bed together, and I also realized that mods was going to be very hot. So I instantly went on Facebook Marketplace and bought an AC unit that ended up being the biggest piece of garbage ever. It functioned well, but it's so garbage. I'm glad I did it though, because that first month in mods was brutal without the AC.
I do remember looking for a bunch of fans.
Yeah.
Like, and ACs that would go off the market like instantly.
Yeah, I remember Shaq putting a towel over his bed and walking around in his underwear everywhere because it was just too hot.
It was a rough day. I still do that, but that's for different reasons.
I mean, I was abroad first semester, so I didn't move in, but I came to campus before the start of the semester, and kind of saw you guys moving in, and then I came in the middle of the semester in a little bit, and it was good. I had a good time. It's fun being here and being able to get all the benefits, but then not having to actually live here and see how gross and it gets sometimes. So honestly, can't complain about that. I remember like moving into Ireland was pretty crazy. Just not knowing anybody at all and being like, well, I'm in a new city and I live here now. But I remember visiting you guys and just being like, oh, you guys are gonna have an awesome time, and I'll see you in a few months.
Yeah, for me, I mean, just like Ben, I was pretty excited. It's like we're all living together. I also knew that we were all a good group of kids, and like we would all be chill and relax with each other, and that's just how it ended up being. Like it was just a lot of fun, and I just knew going into senior year that I would have good roommates to be around.
Do you have any favorite memories from this year?
When Lucy came and visited me, that was a lot of fun. I remember when I came in the middle of the first semester, she was with me, and that was entertaining, but definitely had a lot more time when she came just a few weeks ago. Obviously, you guys were incredible, letting her and her friends sleep here, and they both had an awesome time, and it was pretty special for me to get to do that with her, and that was probably the best weekend for me of senior year.
I think my favorite memory was like our first party that we threw, because there was just a lot of stuff that was happening. That was wild. Like it's all we were expecting, you know, in senior year, being in Lodge, throwing like a pretty big party, and just hearing Max throw up right on the carpet.
And then
Like it was a successful night.
I drunkenly get the vacuum for some reason.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
And not to mention the next party, and the party that was even bigger than the first one. Then we got shut down for that one. And Ben punched his first hole.
May or may not.
His first hole.
May or may not have been the start of a probably poor choice of trends.
But that was like a sick party, because just like tons of people were showing up.
Like literally everyone I think we knew
Yeah.
was there. At least.
And like a bunch of randoms too.
Even that, I was like, these guys are sick. They're my best friend.
For some reason, I can't like the only like very distinct favorite memory I have is a track related memory. So I can just say it super fast and I'll go to my mods one. But it was literally just when Sam Kim broke 155 and was fast enough to shave my head. For some reason, like I've never been so genuinely excited for anyone in my life. I first like I literally looked at the time on the board, and I was at the 100 start and he was at the finish line. I've never sprinted faster in my life, and I literally just dove on the ground and gave him the biggest hug, and it was like the most exciting moment. I was like so happy for him, and it's just like seared into my memory as like that was just like I was just so happy, and that's why it's like one of my favorite memories.
Do you want to show the work?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll come up later, don't worry.
I wear hats.
That'll come up later. Those stories
but,
will come.
Like in general, like just sort of, Max kind of talked about it in his senior thing, but my favorite memory is just like being the place where people wanted to go. Like we were the hub for fun on campus. Like if you wanted to have a good party, or you wanted to just hang out with friends, people were like, let's go to Mod 14. And just that general idea is something that makes me really happy, because I'm a relatively outgoing person, and the fact that people think of me and my friends as like the place to go to have a good time, I really like that. And I'm glad that we became that this senior year.
It's kind of fucked to say, but when people are like, oh, like we were trying to throw a party, but like not many people showed up, like at Ridge, and I was like, damn straight, because we are the party people. For favorite memories, I don't know, it's like, I can't really choose one specifically. Like the one that like sticks out most recently was not really like Brandeis related, but it was when me, Max, and Isaac met up with Adam in Orlando, and then went to San Juan. That was a really fun trip for me.
Yeah.
For a few reasons, and obviously we also saw Aaron with his shaved head. That was funny. Go-kart racing, that was a lot of fun. That's what we did. What else did we do? Went to New York a couple times.
We went to second semester. We went to the Hamptons. Right? Sports bet a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The sports betting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
COVID. Yeah.
went to Chicago. I forgot about that.
How could we forget?
How could we forget the
sadness?
Strictly business.
My favorite city. I got to visit it apparently.
So that now you can't say anymore which city you really want to visit now. You're drunk.
I'll never know.
You gotta choose a new one now.
Just good vibes all around.
Yeah.
All right, let's just get right into it. Who would you consider are some influential people to you, Zach, during your college experience?
At Brandeis?
Yeah, at Brandeis.
I'm talking to the camera.
Yeah, to the camera.
Brandeis. Some unfortunate people. Students, staff, or like
Anybody you want.
Quick shout out to my career advisor, Zach. Helped me get a job, but friend-wise, I would say, all of you in this mod, Isaac, Aaron, Mason, but Aaron, Max, Shaq, they're good buddies. Adam, Ryan, Lasada. I don't know, influential. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are influential.
Do you think you changed a lot at Brandeis? Obviously, coming from Penn State, totally different.
Completely different vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to be yourself here and do your own thing, which is people enable that because they also are themselves and are really honest and open. And everyone here's so quirky, and even the random people you don't know are they're just so confident in being weird that it makes it really easy to study and not feel bad, or to if you want to party, there's people to party with. But I guess that means your friends are influential. I'm trying to think of specific people. Obviously, Gio has a large impact in my life. Isan for introducing me to everyone.
Yeah.
And then
I remember the first time we met you, Isan brought you back. Isan used to bring back a lot of boys to the Rosie, various study partners typically, and then we met Zach and this kid's pretty chill, he's pretty good at soccer. Obviously, just totally funny that you came from Penn State. It's hilarious. But yeah, we clicked pretty well, and then integrated him more fully, not just as a study partner. Took him on trips and stuff.
Yeah, I got into the became friends with everyone. So.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah. Are you happy with who you became now that you're going to graduate? Are you happy with the person you are coming out of college?
I already did this one.
Yeah, as you already did this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I definitely still have a lot of goals that I want to achieve, being a healthier person. But I think that I came to Brandeis to study and focus on my schoolwork and try and get good grades, and I think that I had the benefit of taking a year away from college to reevaluate my life and think a lot about my life and what I actually want out of a life. And going to a big private school like Penn State certainly wasn't that. And taking a year away and being in the real world, realizing what it is to be in the real world, where no one really cares what you're doing or who you are. No one cares about you really. Obviously, your family and friends do, but it's on you to make the life that you want to live. And then coming to Brandeis, it's a small school, but it's a great place where if you're not established, you can really find out what makes you happy and what you want to do in life. And obviously, I still don't even know what it is, because that's why I wanted to do consulting, because you can go anywhere from that profession. But I think that I put myself in a place exactly where I want to be, in a big city where I can explore and grow and learn a lot. And like that's the kind of person I want to be. And I'm not sure exactly like who that is, but I want someone with options, or I want to be someone with options, and also someone who like I don't know, has a good friend group and just knows people in a lot of places that are kind and like you can rely on. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, honestly.
What were some of the big lessons you learned throughout college? Doesn't have to be from the beginning to the end, but maybe like something that sticks out to you. Any lessons? And take your time. You can cut out the empty noise.
Live with the right people. Like, I feel like think about college, like pretty much, you know, ups and downs, roller coaster, whatever. But like, first 3 years just like kind of sucked. Like I like didn't really like them, and like this year was fucking great. And like it was like we lived with Isan and Chloe, and like that brought out like with like the boys, but like Isan and Chloe bring out like the best in the boys, and it was just like incredible. And like hanging out like on the periphery of like Mod 14 or whatever, like we're just like so much happier. And it's like shit, like I need to live with people I love like in life. Like that's like a baseline need. And I didn't really know that coming in. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and like on a related note, I think also devoting yourself to things that you love, not necessarily doing things because they're easy, but rather because you enjoy it. Mostly because I took this class called History of East Asia in the Modern World. Thought it was easy, but it was so boring that I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna take a class just because it's easy. I gotta make sure I like the professor, and that's something that I learned through college.
Very applicable to after college.
I think that it's okay to do nothing, you know? You go through college and you sort of want to make the most of it, and that's like fine, but giving yourself the time and the space to just, you know, go over to somebody's house, sit on their floor, and just do nothing, you know? And that's totally fine. And that's some of the best time that I had in college, is just doing nothing with people. And, you know, it sort of sounds like a cliche that, like, there's no time wasted if you spend it together, but, you know, I really found that to be true over the course of college.
My takeaway, I guess, like, it's kind of twofold, but I think one, try to, like, explore and do as many new things as possible. I think sometimes you can kind of get locked into one thing or one idea and just keep on doing that and just be frustrated or annoyed. But I think trying new things is definitely fun, and also like when you do find that one thing you like or enjoy, just like pursuing that to its fullest. I think a lot of times I feel like I've done things or took in classes because, you know, that's what other people take or what guys usually take, but I feel like, I don't know, you should really just do what you want to do and not what people think you should do.
That's a good answer. How would you react to someone calling college the best 4 years of your life?
Well, as someone who peaked in high school, you know, I think this was a moment that I could really focus more on relationships, just because, you know, we were living with each other 24/7, and so, you know, with that, I think I definitely grew a lot in terms of my. I was going to say social network, but that seems like I'm just like some neo-lib. But really more, you know, building those relationships with other people and creating stronger ties with people, which was, you know, I think just for my general happiness, it's something that I totally could understand if people say that college is the best 4 years of their life, because, you know, the social ties that I've created here are definitely some of the strongest that I will ever make throughout my entire life, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think like best 4 years of your life is a little ridiculous of a statement
Like,
to make.
shut up, but also
like
maybe.
shut up. But I feel like it is like probably a very important and pivotal 4 years of your life. I feel like you kind of lock into who you are and figure out who you really are and like what kinds of people like you like spending time I think hanging out with. And I guess you start to kind of figure out like, okay, like what do I want to do with my life? What kinds of classes or subjects do I like? And I don't know, you kind of just become yourself in college and figure out stuff along the way. And it's an important year of learning, not just about like academics, but about just like who you are as a person in general.
Yeah. Yeah, no, similarly, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, stop being cliche. And then I'd be like, all right, fine, whatever, sure. I mean, like, the full 4 years thing, like, you know, there's such differential between years. And also, like, you know, COVID, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, formative years, but not definitively the best. Because, you know, it's this process of, like, building identity. But it's also this process of, like, I think kind of losing identity. Like, the first few years are, like, you don't know who you are. Like, you just come from, like, you know, high school is, like, this high school family. Like, you kind of have an identity put together, and then it just gets shattered. And you have to, like, kind of rebuild it. It's like, once it's rebuilt, like, it's great. But it's tough early on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that my life will get sort of better and better as it goes along, and sort of not. I hope I don't peak in college. Not saying that it wasn't a really good 4 years. Just saying that I hope things get a lot better after this. Just because I think that, you know, college is not necessarily better, but it's different because you just have so many more opportunities and so many more choices. And, you know, at times that can feel really overwhelming, but, you know, I feel like that's part of being young, is just having, you know, the whole world as your oyster. And you can, like Trive said, it's a time of, like, exploring and figuring things out. And as you get older, those opportunities and all of those options become narrower and narrower and narrower. It's hard to say.
So sad.
But, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It's just about how much fulfillment you end up deriving from the decisions that you make. And so I think that it is a special time. It's a unique time, but it's not necessarily the best 4 years of your life.
How would you react to someone calling college the best 4 years of your life? You take some time to think about it.
You can go first. I already have my opinion on these.
Jeez.
You want me to go first? What do you think?
I think we might have similar answers, but go ahead.
Well, no, you didn't answer if you're ready.
I think I had expectations that were not met because Brandeis to me first year was really tough. I planned to actually transfer, but I didn't because I had midterms. I think I mentioned this. So it never went through, but I tried to give it a second try sophomore year, but then COVID happened, and then COVID robbed me of another year. And I feel like senior year was honestly one of the best years that I had here at Brandeis, but my college experience was not what I wanted it to be. I didn't think a lot about what I wanted from the school when I applied. I will say that the friendships I've made and the experiences I've had here and the opportunities, I 100% appreciate and I loved every second of it. But there's just some part of me that wished it was slightly different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's 4 years. It took me 6 years to get to this point of graduating. So, and yeah, my first 2 years were pretty horrendous at Penn State. Definitely not the ideal college situation. which, yeah, and I took a year off. But I guess the actual statement of the college is the best 4 years of your life. I mean, for some people, yeah, they like having a lot of time to party, drink, and have no responsibilities, even though it costs a lot of money to be here. I mean, where I'm from, a lot of people say, like, you would hear a lot of people that I would consider, like, I won't say losers, say that about high school. Like, oh, high school is the best 4 years of your life. Which, for sure, for some people, if it is, but the same with college. And, I mean, it's the best years of your life to have fun and, like, have fun irresponsibly, I would say, by drinking, doing drugs, exploring different things that you might like. But I don't know. I feel like you have to live your life looking forward. Like, that can always be the best. Maybe when you're 80, you look back like, oh, this segment of time was the best. And sure, but I don't think you should look back when you're 26 and be like, oh, life sucks now, and be pessimistic and say that was the best time and that life will never be better, because it's a pretty shitty way to live.
I feel like that also applies to, like, people are like, oh, the best time of your life is in your 20s. And I just feel like that's not true.
It could be like the end of your life, like, oh.
I mean, yeah, but
you can't live like that. Then you're it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your life's gonna suck if you're thinking, oh, the best years are behind me. So, like, maybe your best years to, like, be fit and have free time and do whatever you please. But yeah, maybe
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. Can you guys tell me about how you met?
I was his TA.
Yeah, so like this was like freshman year, and I was in her. She TA'd for close side 12, and she was my TA, and I went into her office hours one day because we had to do like these check-ins with the TAs during that time.
Once they finished their homework, we had to clear it for them.
Yep, and so that's when we first met, but like we didn't really start talking until you sat right behind me my senior year.
Yep. So it took us 4 years to actually become close, and then I sat right behind him, and I was like, wow, the back of this kid's head is really cute.
I feel like there's more to the story. That could be shared.
Okay.
Yeah. So Belle was in a lot of my classes the following years. Like, I swear at least each year I was in one of her classes. Like, some that I can remember was Harry Marison's class, so like COSI 121, and even Olga's class, the data science class, and then this year was 2 classes, both with the same professor.
And I feel bad because, like, out of all that time, it took me a long time to, like, notice him, you know? But now I'm very glad that I have. And maybe we needed all that time to, like, I don't know, not talk. But it was really fun to, like, be in the same classes, but, like, we never really talked when we were in the classes, just this year.
Yeah, but then, like, so obviously, like, when we started, we started talking more because there's many things that happened. The first thing that happened is there's this guy named Tommy Eastman who also sat like right behind me, and I randomly just get a text one day from Sam saying, do you know someone named Belle Scott? And I replied to him, I was like, yeah, I knew of her. And Sam said, like, oh, I hear she's interested from you. And I was like, from who? And he was like, oh, it was from Tommy. Tommy said that. So that was the first thing. So
I told Tommy not to say anything. Here's the thing. I literally said in class, wow, like, this guy Adam, like, he's cute. Like, what's his deal? Like, he's really good at tennis. I know that. But, like, does he know anybody, like, that you know type thing? For him to be subtle about it. He texted Sam that day. Like, he texted him 5 minutes after I told him that. I was so pissed because I thought, like, no matter what, like, kind of feeling I had, it was ruined because he was just going to be sussed out that, you know, Tommy immediately texted Sam about me.
Well, it's funny you say that because then, like, the next day we went to, or I can't remember if it was on a Tuesday, or if it was that Wednesday. Oh no, I think it was on Wednesday. But then
I don't remember. You remember that?
sorta, because I was like thinking about this. I was like, oh, this is interesting. like why is Tommy texting Sam about this?
Yeah.
But then I was like, all right, I have this information, but then like, and obviously I would talk to you for sure. And I was like, so what do I do with this information though? The next time I see her on Thursday, do I like not talk to her?
Wow, you really thought about it a lot.
Yeah, I was like, do I talk to her? Like, I'm not gonna like cold DM you. I feel like that's just kind of weird after hearing that.
I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah, so like it's a good thing I didn't.
No, I'm glad you didn't do that.
But then our other friend came in to the rescue.
She saved the day. Jolie Fujita saved the day. She's the reason we're together right now.
So, from what I remember about this is like she asked me to go to a basketball game, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll go to the basketball game. I feel like I have an idea of what this is about. But I'm glad it happened.
Yeah. Well, we went to the basketball game.
Yeah.
He sits like way in front of me, and so then I have to go like 10 rows down. I was trying to watch the game too.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. It was a good game because I remember like you guys were there and stuff.
Yeah, and why would you want to sit front row? That was a great game that they were playing.
I feel like at the beginning I did all of the like, you know, work at the beginning. I was the one that went up to talk to you. I was the one that was like, yo, I'm interested in you. And then we like, okay, and then we connected over like, we both like gaming. We both like play Xbox. And he was like, whoa, you play Xbox? And I'm like, okay, yeah.
After the basketball
This is
game,
gonna work. This is gonna work, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also figured out you like watching anime too.
Oh yeah, I love anime. We watched anime. That's like how we like started to like hang out. Because I feel like you need something light. You know, to start hanging out, you need something in common to do.
There's only so many video games you can play.
Yep. Yeah, that's how we met.
I just remember it was really weird because Adam asked me if I was going to the basketball game, and we went to every home basketball game.
I also
was the only one.
I also do remember that.
Why did you want to go to basketball today? It's so weird.
Yeah, just like that's just not Adam.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, I'm just gonna send the photo album now.
Who are you sending it to?
Yeah, who has their phone?
Army.
Okay, I'll send it to Aaron.
Just send it on me.
I have mine.
Oh, is it not me? Oh, does so someone? No, it's fine. Shaq. Okay, it's fine. It's better. Or I'll send it to Shaq, but Shaq put it in the middle. Yeah, hold the phone.
Yeah.
You gonna send it?
It's airdropping RN.
Nice. Should just appear.
Accepted it.
Yeah.
It's sending. Don't worry.
Just wait. Shows up.
I don't
No, just it shows up.
On a different note, you put a. There it
This
is.
is like my grandma with technology.
Later for that.
Okay. So first photo is from Halloween. It's me and Max. He was a tree and I was a lumberjack, so it seemed natural for me to cut him down. That was a really fun night. For some reason, I don't have any very specific memories of that night.
We went to the drum.
No, it was Mandy's mom.
No.
We went to this house, that house.
Eve's house.
Eve's house, yeah.
Oh, that was that night.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So
We said
this is actually a funny story because like everyone hated me after this night, but literally I had the best intentions ever. So I was talking to this one girl the entire night, and then someone was like, "We have to leave." And then as we were leaving, I was like kind of very drunk, and I was like, "Fuck her! Like, why do I have to leave? Like, I want to."
No, you have it opposite. She had to leave.
Oh,
And
she had to leave.
yeah.
So I was like, "Fuck her for leaving. I want to keep talking to her." But obviously, I didn't say that. I just said, "Fuck her," and I said it way too loud. Sabrina, yeah. If you were ever watching this, I wanted to keep talking to you, and that's why I was mad you were leaving.
We tried to clarify it later.
Haley had to do damage.
No, it was me.
No,
She
Haley,
was my-
you texted after Haley in the moment. Like
She was my volunteer partner sophomore year, and I messaged her. I was like, "Hey, my friend Eric wants to. He's really sorry." And I was like, "He thinks you're really cute. Here's his number." And she did not
I completely understand why she would hate me, but it was I swear to God, I was having a conversation with an entire kitchen full of people that night.
Oh, you were their entertainment. I remember specifically walking in, and you were talking to this group of people about I think geography, something so stupid.
Aaron Tilden.
And I was looking at her, I was like, is he? And she's like, oh yeah, this is fun.
Honestly, like, I'm the kind of person, I don't care if while I'm drunk, people are like making fun of me and laughing. Like, if I'm having a good time and they're having a good time, who cares?
Fair.
Like, honestly, it was a win-win.
I have a few photos of Aaron, or videos of Aaron, like just drunk in these things.
And that's when I learned. That's when I learned that screwdriver. Like that's when I made my classic 50% New Am screwdriver. Like
sir.
That became
sir.
my drink of choice because I was like, wow, that was like a perfect amount of drunk.
Oh, this has to be. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So the big reactions are coming from like the strobe light at like this really fancy.
Is this where's
So this
Encore?
video
Where's
is
Encore?
encore for Robbie Ludwig, my home friend.
Yeah.
His birthday, his 22nd birthday, and my other home friend Nick had rented out, or not rented out. He didn't rent out anything, but he had somehow finessed us not paying the $50 cover at Encore, which is a club in
Memoirs.
Memoirs, the club. Encore is the casino.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's open invite, so invite whoever. So I invited everyone I wanted to invite from
Yeah,
Brandeis.
we had like 20 people.
Yeah.
And we were able to get a big table in like a semi-VIP area, so like it felt like exclusive, felt really nice. The strobe lights was like the first time we've experienced like strobe lights in that kind of environment. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we did get big.
You know, I don't know if you can see like how like the lights we figured out there.
EDM, like before this we got into EDM a little bit.
Oh yeah,
This was like the biggest thing.
It was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect because our roommate Adam, big into EDM, got all of us. I mean, I'm into EDM, but not nearly as much as him. And we were able to get the whole mod into EDM. And that was leading up to Encore, and then everyone was already in the mood for it. And then once everything happened, it was just a great experience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is Friendsgiving. This was a super fun night. Anyone else want to talk?
I remember me and Max like slaving away in the kitchen for like,
And
honestly,
a
a lot of
kind
people.
of looks like a vampire here, not gonna lie. It's a little scary, but
I forgot how many people like showed up. Like we had a whole line of tables full,
awesome.
and we had to like overflow people to like here and on the stairs.
Well,
but it was.
I have a question for you, Ben. Was this before or after the whole Anya thing?
That's funny. So
Was
it was like kind of recently after. So like Anya was there, but me and her were like very clearly avoiding one another. I was like trying not to like look, and then I got drunk, and I like Max was like, what did you asked him like quite like you were like Shaq, like guess who like has never gone like above like 80. And I was drunk. I was like, "What? No one's ever gone that. Someone's not gone that fast before." I was like, "Anya, of course it's you, you fucking idiot." And Max like, "No, it's Nikki." I was like, "Oh shit."
That's hilarious.
And then I just sat with like Isan and Reese and like kind of like,
It's like shy away.
yeah. I was like, "Let me just get my food."
Okay, so that was like after the whole Anya thing.
That's fun.
But on a more serious note, this was like a really fun time because it kind of brought back the Rosie vibes where like we had a large amount of people in like one setting. We got everyone together and we just bonded and had a really good time. We had the fireplace on the TV. We had Maisie roaming around.
Max was specifically playing.
Like for Sinatra and like Michael Bublé and that kind of vibe. It was just a really fun time. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it.
That was a fun time, just like having everyone together, just like talking and having dinner together.
Oh, I know exactly. Okay, so this was a video of us in Indiana. Sports betting got legal this year in a lot of states, and I remember I was driving Isaac home from winter break. He had taken the train in Melbourne, and we were talking about doing a big senior trip, and I was like, but no one has money. Like, none of us have money. Like, I want to go to Europe, but like, none of us have money for April spring break. And we were talking, like, how are we going to get money? Like, what's the, like, I can't, like, no one's going to work. And we're like, oh my gosh, all these promos from all these sports books that they're just literally giving out free money. Like, this is crazy. That's how we're going to make money.
Yeah, we already started this a little bit in New York because they had like a $1,500 like match thing, but
yeah, and yeah, so
it was all Isaac. I'm not going to take any credit. He planned the whole thing. He did the math. He came up with the 3 states we're going to go to. So we're going to be Chicago, Indiana, Michigan. And we basically had to come up with we basically took advantage of some arbitrage that involved depositing money and making bets that were guaranteed to hit and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really not even about the sports books. It was literally about arbitrage. It was just about math and probability and hedging, and there's literally no risk. And in the end, it worked out, and everyone made enough money. But it was complicated, and I got banned from different states for sports betting, and but it ended up working out. It was a lot of fun, and this is a good example of spontaneity in this year and doing things on a whim and doing things because we're 22 and let's do something that's gonna have high payoff. Yeah.
I just want to mention there's this one moment where I kind of ignored the arbitrage opportunity and went for a higher risk but still sort of arbitrage opportunity. And there's this one point where I had a $1,000 bet on, it was a parlay of 3 things or maybe 2 things, and they were all just things that I found online. I was this seems better than the odds are giving you, and so I went for them, and it was plus 400 or something, plus 360. And there's this moment where the first one hit and the second one, which was unlikely. Do you remember? It was Grizzlies versus something.
It was Grizzlies versus Lakers, and we were at Aaron's friend's Maddie's house.
And they were ahead. I bet on the underdog. And
no, it was Lakers Warriors.
Lakers Warriors.
Yeah.
And we just needed the Warriors to win.
And I bet.
And this year for Future Max, this was 2022 Steph Curry, great season, MVP season. LeBron doesn't make the playoffs this year. It's crazy. It's for my future self.
But I actually bet on the favorite for this one. So this was the easiest leg of the parlay.
Yeah.
We actually hit all the hard legs. And then there's just this left, and they were up by, Warriors were up by 10 or something.
It was easy. I was this is easy. The Warriors
so we walk into Aaron's, and it's getting really close. It's 100 to 98.
Yeah.
And I'm
what's going on?
But it's still they're favored. It's whatever. It's supposed to come out right at the end. And then,
the long story short, LeBron had the second highest scoring game of his career.
Yeah.
And
we were just sitting there
the parlay
watching.
that we had, it was a huge parlay. And
so it was $2,600 down the drain in LeBron's hands.
And all for LeBron not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So thank you, LeBron James.
Yep.
All right.
How about what's your favorite non-Brandeis memory from college? Something that didn't happen on campus.
Like a Brandeis memory?
It doesn't have to
in
be.
your time at Brandeis, but that wasn't on
It wasn't on
campus.
campus,
Yeah.
okay.
Like a trip or something, or any activity.
The Wheel of Fortune triple. I really enjoyed the first Montreal trip because that was when I really got to know you guys as a group, or at least the people that went on the trip. That was a great time. Pretty much any of those spring break trips where we went with a group of people that I didn't entirely know. Like I went to Portland with Ryan, Ali, and Chloe, Chive, and Shaq.
Solomon.
Harrison,
yeah.
Montreal Part 2 with Solomon.
And then, and Solomon. and yeah, so those kind of trips are just awesome. It's great to get to meet people that, I don't know, you don't really, get to. And also because I always live by myself on campus, I think that was something that, I don't know. That's why I like those trips where you go away for a week with a big group of people, because I live in a single and I go to CA. So I never really got to spend that kind of time with a group of friends on campus. So going to Montreal, going to Portland, Montreal Part 2.
Yeah.
It was great times.
Another great Boston story is when we met Tway.
I think were you there?
I don't think I was there.
All right. This one's more for you.
I'll take
you.
No,
I'll take the LDS one.
You gotta tell the story. It's so funny.
I think it was with Phil. We met this kid at the gym, Tway. Was he?
You were playing ball.
Yeah, I was playing basketball or something. didn't know anything about him. Did he go to Brandeis at that
No,
point?
he never went to
Alright,
Brandeis.
so
Went to culinary school.
I can tell you
Oh,
why.
yeah,
he
this
went
is-
to
yes.
Brandeis.
Alright, so at the,
Yes.
the first time we met him, he comes to Brandeis. He's like apparently visiting a friend, so he says he's visiting this girl, but doesn't see this girl all day, so he's just hanging out by himself at the Brandeis gym.
She's like, he lives 2 hours away from Connecticut, right?
No, he lives 20 minutes
Alright,
away
yes.
from me.
So in
Yeah,
Connecticut,
so 2 hours away.
we bond over the fact that he lives right next to us. In
Yeah.
Connecticut. He lives in Orange. He went to Amity, which is the
The
same school that
neighbors.
Harrison went to. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I go to cooking school in New York, and he's like showing us all this like cool stuff, and like he has like all these unreleased rap songs from like Lil Uzi Vert and like crazy stuff. So I'm like, wow, all right, this is interesting. But he had a car. At this point, I didn't have a car,
Yeah.
so we were trying to do something. It was like a random day. It was like Thursday or something. So he was like, yeah, you want to go to Boston? I was like, sure. And for some reason, I'm driving this kid's car.
It's because he had just got his speeding ticket on his way
yeah,
to
right on
Brandeis.
the way.
So he's like, I don't want to drive.
He's like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable driving. So he's like, I'll let you drive my car. I was like, I bet. I got a car. So we drive to Boston. I forget who was there, but in this random kid's car. Don't know him at all. Just know his
Not
name's
even
Tway.
Yeah, not even one.
I did used to get messages from Tway like a year later after that. But we get to Boston. The first thing was parking was crazy. We had like, there's no parking, of course, but like right on the main street.
Like
there's
Prudential
like,
also again.
Yeah, right in front of Prudential. And then there's like a very small spot. I also don't know how to parallel park at all. So we try and parallel park, but then there's a homeless guy. Shout out the homeless guy.
Homeless guy. In front of CVS. Across from the Tesla store, we know you.
Tell me the story.
So this homeless guy, it takes me like 20 minutes to parallel park, and the homeless guy is like really saving us. He's like guiding me. Like I've never done it such a better job. There's like maybe like 10 centimeters on both sides of the car in between.
Literally insane.
Insane. I don't think I could ever replicate that, but it was pretty impressive. But yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything actually.
I have a
pizza kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
You can
we ate that
say
pizza.
your
It
part.
wasn't
I have
bad.
a crazier end to I have a crazier part of the story that I learned years later. So Tway was there to visit a girl. He was like, oh, like it's this girl. Like, I've been on a date with this girl or something. He's like a family friend, and that's like the only thing. Like he was like, I came to visit her because I want to ask her out to a concert or something, and then I found out the girl was Leah Fernandez.
Wait, he also slept over that night.
Yeah, but not
With Leah Fernandez.
He slept in like Lasada's bed or something.
What?
Yes, and he slept over in Shaq. And yeah, the girl he was there to visit was Leah Fernandez, and I only found out because I was talking to Leah Fernandez one day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I somehow this came up, and she's like, "No way, you know Tway," and I was like, "How do you know Tway?" And she
This
like,
was also like right before break, so like not knowing this kid, but we went after break, like it was winter, and everyone was like not around. But
Yeah.
me and Connor, my friend from home, we went to the Jewish Community Center with this kid Tway to play basketball because we had nothing else to do. So I met up with him like during winter break. He like drove us around. It was
yeah. How would you say you changed, or what was the biggest change to you in these last 4 years?
Us of ourselves or us of other people? Or anything?
Anything. What would you say is the biggest change?
I feel like it's easier if we start out with us giving center. Like if I give one for Ben and Aaron gives one for me, so we can get the ball rolling. It's hard to know yourself, or maybe not. But.
Well, I mean, I can only speak of change, but this literally just happened recently. I was describing it before.
Sure. Wait, actually, that's an interesting idea. How about everyone go around and let's have Adam talk about what he thinks Isaac's biggest change is.
Okay.
Isaac for Aaron, Aaron for Ben, and then Ben for Adam.
Sure. Okay.
And you can think for a little bit.
This way?
Yeah, just yeah.
for me,
So yeah,
Shaq.
and then Shaq for Adam. Are you ready?
Starting with that.
Yeah.
I think so. But I'm still thinking about
I can start. We can still just go around this way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say for Aaron, definitely just like Aaron's kind of like a crab. Like he's just, like he's always just running around and like kind of scampering. He's got these legs. It's part of the track, but then he's got like the very hard shell. He's very aggressive. Like, he kind of just like smacks you sometimes if you try to like go some really pinchers. but when you crack the shell and you open them up, there's a lot of really soft meat there. And I know that I'm a vegetarian, so I don't really know why I'm giving this analogy.
This is the weirdest analogy.
It's kind of good, honestly.
It's fucking fair. But I'll say definitely with Aaron, that was one of the big things. I mean, Aaron's always been very comfortable with himself, which is something that I respect a lot in a person, partially because I think I'm not the best at it, but seeing him not only stay the same person and being able to like himself, but also just kind of opening up and being able to recognize that you might be a main character, but there are other people out there, and they deserve some semblance of not just respect but like empathy, and being able to go through life kind of carefree and happy and being yourself, but also being just a kind, considerate, and good person who cares about others, I think is what I would say for you. I don't know if that's...
Yeah. I think for Shaq, I don't know if, because I only really knew him the last 2 years, but the one thing that's sort of similar to Isaac is Ben has like a switch in his head. Like, no matter what he's doing, no matter how drunk he is, if someone needs help, Ben is always the first person to just be laser focused on making sure they're okay. If anyone was ooh, can Ben really be a doctor? I think those kind of moments are the reason why someone should be a doctor, because he just so genuinely cares for the well-being of everyone, and I think it's a fantastic characteristic to have. I can always trust Ben to take care of something if I ask him to do it, or to take care of a friend if they're not feeling well, or anything like that. And that's not always something you can trust in a lot of people, is that they're always going to have everyone's collective best interest in mind. But Ben always puts others before himself, and he's so selfless. And maybe that came in college. Maybe he's just always been a really selfless person. But that's one thing I really noticed about Ben.
Ladies, he's single. that's husband material.
That's husband material.
That's some husband material right there.
I'll send it on. I'll put it on Twitter.
For Adam, I met him sophomore year, and he was way more quiet and sort of reserved than he is now. And I think I really got to know Adam when we lived together junior year. And it was really cool to sort of watch you be more animated as a person, at least to me. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but you showed so much more emotion and depth, and it was I would have really cool talks with you. Obviously we have a lot of interest together,
for sure.
But I think the biggest thing that I guess that I noticed change with you was the types of emotion that you show. You've always been a very nice, caring person, very happy, but you I've seen more emotion from you over the past year. It's senior year more as well, especially with Belle, and obviously she's made you a way different person, and I think for the better. Whether or not whatever happens with that, I think it's I think it's great for you, and you've shown a lot of character development.
She's certainly crumbling my resolve.
Before Adam goes, I'll just say I think Aaron was talking about before how it was nice that we were known, or I guess I don't technically live here, but this mob was known as kind of a place where people could go and hang out and have fun and have parties. But I think it's also a place where people are just very open with themselves and with others, and they don't try to pretend to be anybody else. I think you will hear more self-reflection and emotional awareness and just general openness in this mod and in this friend group compared to literally every other environment I've ever been in. And I think sometimes it's shocking to people. They'll come over and they're like, oh my god, you guys just talk like this about each other and just know these things and don't try to cover them up to be strong or to whatever, masculinity, toxic, whatever. We don't need to get into that because obviously we all have our fair share of that. But just I think we've all just gotten so aware of ourselves and other people that it's just people come in here and they're shocked at how we talk to each other in the best way possible, and I'm so appreciative. I think it just made us all so much better.
I
And that we all come from such different backgrounds and have different perspectives that just learning about each other has been incredible.
I was gonna say that about you because I feel like we wouldn't have been able to talk the same way as we do now if we in freshman year. You know, like one moment for me is like when you changed. So like the course of time, I've like seen you change was just like you being open about yourself too as well, and just like hearing what other people say about you, whether it was like, you know, constructive or it was like someone was shitting on you.
We love that constructive
Or,
criticism.
yeah,
Yes.
like, you know, we wouldn't, like you said, we wouldn't have been able, I don't think freshman year we wouldn't have been able to talk the same way as we do now. One memory that I have was junior year, we were doing like, it was me, I came in late, but it was like Chloe, Ryan, Alex, Lasada, we were doing, and you, and we were doing something. It was like a really deep conversation, but we were like going through each person. We were going through each person and sort of just like, I guess telling each other.
Yeah, it was like, what was it was the questions.
It was like 20
Yeah, it
questions.
was the 31 questions, or 30 questions that make you fall
30
in
questions
love.
to make you fall in love. And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all fell in love with each other.
Yeah, and that was like a great moment. Like we wouldn't have been able to talk to each other in that same way freshman year. But yeah, but like I think that's one way I think you changed me over the course of time. I think.
For me, I remember coming in, I think you can even attest to this, freshman year, very insecure, would care about every little detail about what people would think of me. I remember like asking Aaron, like, does my hair look good? Does this shirt look good? And I remember Aaron freshman year telling me, like, literally no one's gonna care, don't worry about it, just like, be you, like, go out there. And I remember it took me a long time to like come out of like that, my timid self, but I can pretty confidently say that like senior year, like completely different person when it comes to like my outlook on, you know, how I feel about like, you know, what other people think of me. And I just feel like I've really been able to embody that assertiveness more in terms of like, you know, being in control out of my own decisions and outlook in life, instead of having, you know, other people dictate how I felt because of the projections that I was having just of other general people. Like when you try to appease everyone in terms of, like, even if you don't know like what they're gonna think, then you're no longer living a life that, you know, you're dictating, you're letting what you think other people's thoughts of you dictate your life. And I think that is a very big change that I've made over the 4 years at university and grown as a person in that regard.
I think by just like pure luck, pretty much, I did. It's a little bit hard to say because I haven't really experienced, you know, what it's like at other schools. And my initial choice for Brandeis just came down to I wanted to be out of Connecticut and cheaper. You know, it really wasn't a big decision for me, and I didn't even know the school that well, but in hindsight, I think a lot of things lined up really perfectly for me to just like grow in the way that I did. Socially, I think it's just insane that everyone can pretty much join anything. That like just any you know, casual sports group, pretty much any friend group, even Greek life, you can just do it, like regardless of who you are. And that just like gave me a lot of openings that I wouldn't have had in other schools. Like in others, if I went to like a bigger school, I just might not have had the same social opportunities. I might have met like a small group of friends and stayed with them, and that would have been fine. But I mean, at Brandeis, I was just able to meet everyone. I was able to do pretty much whatever I wanted to do. Anytime I wanted to meet other people, you just go say hi and they'll talk to you. It's like, and this could definitely be the case at other schools, but I think at least it was true of Brandeis, and I can say that for sure. Academically, I think I think it was definitely a good option, and it got me really to where I wanted to be. I'll say very generally that everything I know about math, I learned from the math department, and very little of what I know about computer science, I learned from the computer science department. This isn't really necessarily at fault of the computer science department. The reality is just I learned a lot of the things independently and sometimes before, and so I would just not, like, the classes would just be for the credit, honestly.
Yeah, I remember Ryan telling me his stories of computer science where you, over the course of a summer, learned enough to skip an entire class. Over the course of, you know, a couple of weeks, you were able to test out of a very difficult class. and then you started TAing for that class, and then I started to realize, wow, Ryan is really smart. He really gets computer science, if that's his thing. So.
Yeah, I'm like at the end, the most important part for me from the computer science department was being able to join this computer vision lab with the people that are Antonella, Jim Storr, Antonella DeLillo. We're gonna come back to that. One of the most important things that happened in the computer science department for me on campus was being able to join this computer vision lab. The people were in it were Jim Storr, Antonella DeLillo, and Solomon Garber, and just being able to join that community, I was able to just talk every week about things that I wanted to talk about and have exposure to like the research world, and that was actually a huge thing for me. And I don't know if it's Brandeis independent, but at the end, that's exactly what I needed to further my skills, and it was just great that it was available. And so, at the end, I think I'm very happy with where I am now, and I honestly think I don't think I could have done much better for myself. And I have to think that at least a decent portion of that was because of Brandeis and the opportunities that it had. And again, it's really weird because it's not like the literal opportunities. I think there are many schools with more opportunities, but it was the way that they were presented and the way that I could access them freely that really made it like something different. And so, I mean, in hindsight, I would say that it was definitely a great decision. I can't say honestly, ahead of time that I could have convinced myself of any of this, because it really just seems ridiculous that something that isn't necessarily optimal could end up being one of the best decisions. Yeah. But that's what seemed to be the case at the end. So.
In terms of the people I've met and the kind of person I've become, I'm very proud of who I am today, and a large part of it is because of a lot of the people that you'll see in the video. And I think I subconsciously made friends with people that I had a lot of qualities I admired because I wanted to become better. And so every time I met someone that had something that I really, really liked about them that I wanted to have, I just wanted to be friends with them because I thought I could learn from them. And so for Ryan is one of the most curious and, oh God, I'm crying. and just so focused, and you are so good at finding the things you like and getting so much enjoyment out of that. And I'm so jealous of that because I feel like I oftentimes dismiss things like that, and being able to find real happiness in things that doesn't matter whether or not they're actually cool, but you think they're cool, that's an insanely good skill. That's how you live a happy life, and you're satisfied with yourself, and I don't know, at least from the outside for me, and also you're so smart, and all the things that are you, obviously I'm very jealous of as well, but that in particular I think is one of my favorite traits about you. And Lasada, you're so caring, and oh my God, I'm actually gonna cry, I can't do this. You're so caring, and you have a really,
it's all right.
Whoa. Okay. We're good. I'm locked in. Lasada, you're very caring, and you have a huge heart, and I think you've grown a lot, and out of all of us, I think you've grown the most, honestly, at least as a person. I think from who I knew you freshman year till now, you've really changed for the better, and you're much more assertive about yourself, and I think there was times where that wasn't true, and now that's true, and I think that's very admirable to be able to look at yourself introspectively and look at what things you think are problems with yourself, and learn to love yourself, but also learn to grow, and that's very impressive. And I think that's a great quality in Aaron. I think you always are so devoted and disciplined, and I like being able to run 10 miles a day and stuff like that. I'm very jealous of as well, and also you are very opinionated and very strong. And I think I think I got a lot of my confidence from you because you take your confidence from a spot that you work on something hard, and you know that you care about it, and you spend a lot of time, and you don't really let people tell you that you aren't confident in it. And my confidence wasn't like that coming in, and so I think I took that from you. And Adam is also one of the nicest people I've met. He's very genuine, and he also is very, just a very great guy. And he's very realistic with himself, and always knows where he stands, and that's like a very good skill, is to be self-aware. And I think I also took that from him. And Shaq, Ben is also one of the nicest people I know, but just always willing to help, and he's always the first one to help ask me if I need anything. And every time it doesn't matter how long of like what he's been doing, he always puts stuff down to help you. He always sacrifices himself for you, and that's like a great quality as well. And Sam has also been someone that's been very important to me in my time at Brandeis. And I didn't really know Sam at all coming to Brandeis, but it was very nice to have someone that came from the same place as me, but I didn't know it all, because we could experience things and learn about each other together. But Sam is one of the most thoughtful, and I think someone here said it, I don't remember who it was I interviewed before, but someone said he's one of the only people that when they talk, it's because they really think that they can improve the conversation, and they don't talk if they can't. And that's like a beautiful way to put exactly how I think Sam is that he won't say something unless he really believes that like it should be said. And I say so many empty words and so much bullshit, and I waste a lot of time, and I love talking. And I think it's one of my worst quality, not worst, but like a quality I try to improve and become a better listener. And Sam, that's what I took from Sam, is that he's very thoughtful, extremely, extremely thoughtful. And Isaac I've learned a lot from Isaac. He's opened a lot of doors for me, but I think most importantly, Isaac shows what it's like to really be passionate about something, and the things and the people he really cares about, he cares about very deeply. And I'm not sure if I was very good at being very, knowing the difference between caring about something and actually really, really caring about something. And now I forgot what the initial question was. But in terms of the people I met at Brandeis, I think very differently now. And as someone, I love the way I think now, and I love the kind of person I am now. And I was very lost, and I still am very lost, but at least I chose a good place with good people that kind of gave me more direction in that way. Yeah.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Okay, so can you guys tell me your favorite thing about each other?
Oh. Okay, that's easy. My favorite thing about Ryan is that Ryan is like, oh wait, I have two.
Go ahead.
Can I do two?
Yeah, do two.
Okay, number one is that Ryan is like super curious. He's like always trying to figure things out, always trying to learn new things, like come up with like interesting things to just think about, which I think is just like makes him a really interesting person, helps him like learn a lot as a person as well. And my second thing is that Ryan is like a super, super compassionate person, like more so especially than like a lot of like guys that I've met. Like Ryan is just like so sweet, like so loving, which I just like think is really great.
I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is just that Chloe's like very like just like driven and like stubborn in like I'm using stubborn in a good way here, where it's like you really like once you decide what you want to do, you like will not stop until you get that done. And you can like see this in a lot of, you know, the things that she does and the things that she studies and 2 marathons. But just a lot of things that you do, it's just like it would be really easy to like try it and then fail at it and not continue. But at the end, like you just push through and you really just do like exactly what you want to do. And the end result is that you do some kind of insane things. So.
I'm stubborn in the bad ways too.
Okay. Nice. That was it. Cool. And then just finally, maybe you guys can say your favorite thing about the other person on the couch.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. As much as you want. And you can take time to think.
Are you crying? He's crying, guys.
I'm not crying. Let me think.
Don't make me cry.
It'd be good for me. I'd be fine with it.
I don't know. My favorite thing.
It can be like, I know it's really hard to like
Yeah,
say
my
one thing
favorite
because there's
thing-
so many things about me.
There's so many things that I love. But yeah, I don't want to cry.
Do it.
It's fine. It's just.
Let me think.
I'll turn it away.
Yeah, Max, you have to leave. Careful there. On the shirt.
No, not on the
No, not on the lips.
All right, my favorite thing. I think. I think my favorite thing is in our relationship.
It's not like a vow.
No, I know what I want to say. I'm trying not to cry. I don't know why it's making me emotional. No, but she's really understanding and reflective. And so, like, if we get in an argument or fight, which we don't do often, she'll apologize and say, "Oh, I was wrong," or like, if I'm wrong, she'll be like, "You're wrong, but I'm still sorry," or like, yeah, she's just really supportive and reflective, I guess, is the perfect way to put it. Yeah.
You're holding back the tears.
It makes me a better person too, because hearing her be reflective and like sympathetic when she's like wrong or like did something wrong, it makes me like, oh, I should do that too.
Thanks, babe. I think it's. I just love how comfortable we are next to each other and like how we can be ourselves 100%, and that is like weirdly like from day one it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And I said this to you before, like I am 100% myself around you. I don't have to like hide anything or like, and I just like love that because that can be sometimes really hard to find. And we can be like silly or we can be very serious at the same time. We can debate on certain topics. And yeah, I think you just bring out the best in me and I try to bring out the best in you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's great.
All right, that was all I needed. Thank you very much. What is your favorite thing about each other?
Okay, like
You go first.
how deep are we going? Like,
I asked Zach and Gio the question. I asked Chloe and Ryan the question, so it's only fair. They answered. Yeah, they didn't. No one like gave me like a very, very, very deep answer, but as deep as you want.
Go deep.
As deep as you want.
Well, okay, for me, like what really drew me to Belle was just after talking to her, she was so passionate about everything that she believes in, and she's an extremely hard worker. I knew she took a 5th year, but she was literally probably taking some of the hardest classes in the comp sci department, and so that was.
Let's make it clear that I got a master's. I didn't just take 5
sorry.
years to graduate.
Yes. But like I knew you came back because you wanted to play volleyball, but like in that time you also got a master's in computer science, which was just like amazing. Like you have such unparalleled work ethic, like better than many, if not most people I've ever met, and I thought that was very attractive of you. And of course there's more, like I tell her this a lot, but I love her smile. I love the way how she's like very positive, and she also is like she's very strong-minded. She's very strong-minded. You're not a bully. You're not a bully at all.
Thank you.
But yeah, like she is just like unlike anybody else I've ever met.
Oh, how am I gonna top that?
Well,
I should have gone first.
You're definitely gonna top what I say.
No, okay. It's like hard to pin down like one thing. Like there's a lot of things that like I love about him, but I feel like he's just such a good person. I know it's like so basic, but he has like zero bad bones like in his whole body. Like he doesn't know how to manipulate. He doesn't know like how to treat people badly because he like it doesn't occur to him. And like for me that was crazy because I haven't met like really any guy like that ever. I didn't think that they really existed anymore. But he's always calm. He's always level-headed. He never gets stressed. He never gets angry. He never gets really upset. Even when he's like faced adversity, he's never ever been like negatively affected by it that like I can see. He's just so strong mentally, but somehow manages to be the kindest person I've ever met. And everybody goes on and on. As soon as they meet him, they're like, wow, Belle, like you got really lucky. Like this guy is such a good person. But you know, like they just go on and on about how much I love Adam. And yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about him. I could go on and on. I think he's, you know, really attractive and, you know, really good at tennis and funny and I don't know, everything. I love everything about him, but I think my favorite thing is his heart. He has the most beautiful heart I've ever met.
Are you happy with who you ended up being at right now, at the end of college?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's always room for like improvements. Obviously, I'm happier than I was. Obviously, started school. I'm in a way better spot, but I think there's always room like to go up. I think so.
Yeah, I feel like you could always like think like, oh, I could always be better, but I became like a very different person.
Oh yeah.
Because of the people that surrounded me, and
he chases draws now. It's crazy.
And the choices I decided to make. I feel like I'm like the last 4 years maybe more emotionally intelligent, more wise, like more outgoing, even if that's possible, more confident. Just like pretty much everything. Like I had ups and downs, but like I feel like I've definitely become a much better, happy person, and it's like thanks to the people around me, like the late night, like intellectual conversations we'd have, like the intense debates, the math talks we like, the poker, just like literally all these things we do, like they make us smarter, better, more intelligent people, and I'm super glad to have had all those experiences.
Aaron and I were just talking yesterday in the car. Yeah. He was getting a call from his grandmother and then his mom and then his sister, and they were all just like calling him about annoying, dumb stuff. And he was very upset. It's just wasting so much time. Like it's so useless. And then we were talking about how we've done so much of that for 4 years, but the difference is that we enjoyed it. You know, like whether if you're on the phone with someone and you're just shooting the shit and it's a waste and you hate them, it sucks. But if you like them, and what we did for college was hang out, all of us together, and just talk and play games and whatever, doing basically nothing. But we had a great time, and I definitely think we all learned a lot and became way better people. I know for me, I'm so much happier with the person I am today than I was freshman or sophomore year. Shout out Nikki, always. We out here improving.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, but I think for me, a lot of it came from I'm very good at like tricking people and then putting up a facade of sorts. And most people, I feel like I'm pretty solid. I can, trick most people, but unfortunately I spend too much time with these guys. And eventually, that you see through it and you gotta actually do better and be a better person. And when people can see all your flaws and they know you really well, then they're in the best case, in the best place to be able to help you become the person you want to be. And for all the ups and downs of college, very happy with the person I am when I look in the mirror, and I don't think that's something I could say freshman and sophomore year. And so to the extent that you guys helped me get there, I'm very appreciative of that.
That's good.
For me, like I'm definitely extremely happy. Like I knew going into college like it was going to be like a great time, and and having that mindset really helped me shape the way that or the things that I did in college. Like I can't really say when I had I truly can't say where I had a bad memory.
You broke your neck.
That was
We had an incredible weekend. It happened at the end of the weekend.
No, but that wasn't even that bad of a memory. It was just like looking back and I'm like, damn, I'm sick because that happened to me.
I'm superhuman.
Great conversation starter.
And
Adam had never talked to so many girls when he had that neck brace on. They were all over him.
How many children did you save from a building?
Logistically, it was difficult to hook up with all of them because he was in a neck brace, but
he figured
still
it
got
out.
the attention. We all thrive on the validation.
But I'm extremely happy with from my 4 years here at college, and like I literally have no regrets.
That's good.
Maybe yelling at Aaron on the tennis team was
a little.
That was hilarious.
That was so bad.
I didn't hear you once.
That was not even a regret. That was.
He needed it. He needed that on the tennis court versus in person, and just like off the court, and just seeing the two different people and the intensity go way up.
It's amazing.
It's
that
Captain Adam.
Dude, you guys didn't see it, but I also yelled at him again in Orlando. This man was on his fucking phone while we were all cheering for.
We were all the coaches like, you guys are cheering more than everybody else. Like, why the fuck are they not even on the team and they're cheering so much more?
I'm just like, Aaron, what the fuck are you doing? What could you possibly be looking at right now that is more important than cheering on your teammates here down in Orlando? Like,
that shit funny as fuck because like every time we've like watched it before, you would obviously be super serious, and you come off and like Isaac or someone will make a joke and start giggling, and
you
dap someone up. It was just funny, and then you go over to Aaron after your match, and he's like, I can fucking hear you once. And Aaron's like his face was really smiling, and then like dropped
so pale white, bro. He was scared to death.
Feel bad for the kid, but
yeah,
needed it.
He needed it.
Needed it.
In one sentence or less, what will you miss the most about Brandeis?
I will really miss the atmosphere and environment that we collectively as a group have been able to create, and because of that we've been able to foster beautiful relationships and memories that I think will be very hard to do the same moving forward.
I think more so than, I mean, I haven't lived a very long life and I haven't met many people, but I think at least all of our friends, the kind of openness and ability to talk about how you feel and being able to be yourself and try not to be judged, and the love I think that like a lot of us share is what I'll miss the most, because college was kind of like the first time you could really choose who you were friends with. A lot of my home friends are because of I live close to them or I did this with them growing up, and as time goes on you kind of see like you're actually not, and you grow apart and whatever, and you see that you're not the same person as they are. But college, you choose the people you want to be around, and that's very valuable to me.
Oh, I think I have my sentence.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I think this is probably just like universal, not just me, but I think college is the absolute most forgiving time there is, and you can just really afford to take all the risks you can and make any mistakes you want, and that's about all there is for me.
Good wrap, and that's a wrap on the Sada.
And that's a wrap on me, yeah.
Sada's done.
Oh my god!
The rest of
Is this how quiet it was?
Yeah, that was so quiet.
Holy shit! There was so much white noise here.
No, it was so quiet.
Aaron, it's out of storage.
What do you mean? That wasn't like that the entire time.
This 10M?
No.
That wasn't like that.
That wasn't blinking the entire time.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, you can look back at it.
I would have seen that.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay. We can look
You can
I'm gonna check that.
Fuck me. I'm gonna cry. No. It's so